Hope everyone is having a wonderful evening, a wonderful night. It's late night. I say evening like it's, like 8 o'clock or something, like 8 p.m. No, it's like 1 in the morning. Anyway, my internet is still down. Lovely. It's so much of a problem in my building that the apartment complex even got involved today. So that's nice. So we're having all kinds of fun with without internet today. So in the meantime, just doing some personal care, if you will. Let's see here. We're doing. What do we need? White nail polish sounds good. I think white will be good. Ugh. Go. There we are. Okay. Can I share this? I sure can. They actually do have some interesting share tools on here. Cool. Live. Oh, okay, we're back. We're back. Oh, that was weird. I was frozen there for a second. Hi. Hello. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful evening. In the meantime, since I don't have internet, I am going to be just doing a little bit of self-care tonight. A little bit of at-home maintenance. Well, personal maintenance, if you will. But yeah, I don't often take time to redo my nails, especially my toenail. Well, actually, more than anything, my fingernails. But I redo my toes pretty regularly. I don't know. I don't know why. I just really like to keep my toes clean. I like to keep I never really. Oh, there we go. Whew. Okay, it pauses it. Good to know. But, yeah, anywho. Put on music. Probably shouldn't. Probably should do that when I'm live. Because I probably shouldn't do music when I'm live, because if I did, yeah, I have a bad feeling that YouTube wouldn't be happy about that if my mic picked it up and did it live. But anyway, in the meantime, just hanging out tonight. Because the internet's down, so no games. So I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. I actually went out. Well, I hope everyone had a wonderful start to their week. Today is Monday, or well, it was Monday. It's now officially Tuesday, depending on where you're at. But yeah, so it's been. I hope everyone had a wonderful start to their week. In the meantime, we're all just gonna hang out. I'm just gonna redo some nail polish, and since we can't game tonight, I'm just gonna talk about some things. So I went to go see a movie tonight. I had the day off. I work retail, so I generally work Saturdays and Sundays. So hooray, I got Monday off instead, which is kind of nice. But I go back to work tomorrow. Yeah, so I went out to see a movie, and I was like, all right, what movie was playing like right within the time frame that I needed? Muscle Mommy, all right, yeah. I try my best. But yes, I am. Well, today the workout today was chest, shoulders, and triceps. So that was that was the workout today. So I got that knocked out kind of early, And then I had an opportunity to go see a movie, and I went to go see Civil War, uh, the new Civil War movie. Uh, that was what kind of a nothing burger movie was that? I'm not gonna say I was disappointed. I heard some mediocre things about it. I mean, like it was all right. The cinematography was actually pretty good. I will admit though that I was a little bit moved closer to the end because there was the whole final sequence is that like a depiction of a battle scene, like a good depiction, an actual accurate ground level depiction of a war zone or a combat zone, um, like a like an urban combat zone. It was uh, it was a little trippy. It was pretty dark, but it was well done, and that was about really the only part of the movie. I mean, there were a couple other sad moments, but like, it didn't quite hit. Didn't quite land a lot of it. Like you're really supposed like it's like they really wanted you to feel for these characters that just you didn't really get time to know them. You dude, I am a trans woman. I am a trans woman, but thank you for asking. I hope you are having a wonderful night. I hope everyone's having a wonderful night. Welcome in. Just kind of talking about the movie that I went to go see tonight, Civil War. Um, and it was one of those like they tried to set the mood for like the entire movie. They tried to make it like a mood piece and really get you like let moments like heavy moments settle in, and otherwise like it could have worked, but for some reason I don't know what was going on with this, but maybe they just settled on a few scenes a little too long. But it just didn't really stick, and I found myself like wanting to reach for my phone a lot, which I try not to do in the theater. But yeah, it's like it's just not sticking. It's just it doesn't there was no sense of like gravitas in most situations, and I think there were some weird pacing issues. Uh, and I feel like you had to do like it's one of those movies where I feel like you had to do research ahead of time because like they were very vague on a lot of details around this world that they were saying. It could have been an otherwise uh I was gonna say horrible stuff, but you don't seem insane, so I won't. Have a nice day. Well, thank you for not saying horrible stuff. I hope you have a nice day as well. Um, sorry, I can't imagine why I would give you any reason to say horrible things. But yeah, otherwise, thank you for not saying horrible things, and I hope you have a wonderful day as well. I hope you have like everybody that comes in here, I hope you have a wonderful week, because you know, one day's great, but I hope your whole week goes wonderful. So, yeah. But thanks for stopping in anyway. But yeah, just kind of I think the movie overall it could have done that. Like there was a lot it could have done, especially like, and I don't like to talk about politics here. Uh, I definitely don't like to talk politics on my channel, and so we're not. But that being said, this movie was kind of all about like the whole premise, like the whole setup and everything was about it could have done so much and said so much politically, whether that be one side or the other. Because I mean, it's this like hypothetical like the United States had a civil war, and it was like they call it the Western Front. It was like this. Uh, what do you say? This union between California and Texas that like banded together called the Western Front, and they made this army that was basically like trying to attack the White House and overtake the government or something. I don't know. It was like I said, it was very very vague. Um, but neither side went into like they didn't really focus on the actual like why this happened. Like there's no reason why it happened. Um, it so there's zero explanation, zero backstory, zero history of why it happened. No, no idea of what either political side stood for. So I'm like, you can't like. There was no empathy for either side. They were all wearing very similar military uniforms. So you were like, you're just following these neutral journalists that like kept going between each side, um, just to like, because no one's gonna shoot them because they're, it's just the press. That's all they're there for. So it's like, I mean, they're just like inserting themselves into combat zones. I was like, which is already a terrible, dangerous thing that they were doing, but and they were just like they were like blatantly interrupting like these soldiers, whether they be like either side, like interrupting them in the middle of a firefight. I was like, get out of here. Like, this movie gave journalists a really bad name, made them look real bad, and they had like a kid in a combat zone, which never would fly, in this movie, and it's like right up in a combat zone. I was like, no, get that kid out of there. Um, Erica, hi. Hey, it's because you just watched the recording your last stream. Cool room. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know if I'll do a like a full room tour again tonight. I am I know it's off screen. There's sorry, no free content for those who are looking for toe content, but I'm redoing my nails right now, so um but yeah. Hi Erica, welcome. um Sausage Mahoney, them arms big as hell. Yeah, do you crush boulders? Basically could. I have my own boulders. Look at that. Today was today's workout was chest, shoulders, and triceps. So get a little bit of here, a little bit of here, and back here. Felt good. Daisy, hi, welcome back. Slays the choke me out. Look. I can't choke you out if you're not here. Sounds like a you problem. Sorry, I couldn't help myself. But anyway, so yeah, I'm talking about this movie Civil War, and I was like, I don't want to like really rag on it. It just because it wasn't by any means bad. It just didn't do anything with its material. The only thing it really did with the material was I don't know, just make journalists look like idiots. I don't know. And I don't know what they did with the makeup for Kirsten Dunst's character. Kirsten Dunst, I haven't seen her in a movie in a long time. And I know a lot of this was like some makeup to make her look like they like specifically tried to make her a little bit more like battle worn because she's like seen some things in this civil war that's going on and she's just kind of jaded, but like oh, they made her look old. Like she's in her 40s. Her early 40s if I'm not mistaken. Like she's not that old, but they made her look rough in this movie. I was like, this girl is so pretty. Why did they make her look so old and just so bad? Ugh. I mean, I know it's part of the character, but still. Ugh. Like, anytime I think of Kirsten Dunst, I just instantly think, like most people around my age, we instantly all think of her depiction of MJ from Spider-Man back in the early 2000s. And I know it's been 20 years. It's like so either MJ from Spider-Man or that movie stinks. I hope you're not talking about Spider-Man. But it's like people generally either think of that or she was in the first Bring It On movie, which I am not ashamed to say that I have seen Bring It On movies. I liked the Bring It On movies. I thought they were fun, at least the first like one or two. I don't really remember much of them. I just remember Kirsten Dunst was in the first one, and then she was beautiful as MJ. Yes, she was. Like, she pulled off the red hair so well. Oh my god. Uh, it's still weird to me out to this day that they expect us to all believe that Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst in that movie were supposed to be portraying teenagers, which they were definitely not, and they definitely didn't look it. But no, they were good movies. Like, I need a paper towel. I need a paper towel. Oh. Yeah, Toby's my guy. Yeah, yo, Toby Maguire's not bad. Like, whatever, like, what happened? He just kind of disappeared for a long time. Either that, or I just happened to miss the things that he was in. I don't know. There we go. But yeah, let's see here. Okay. So let's see here. That reminds me. Um, the Bring It On movies. Yeah. The Bring It On movies. Two of my very young childhood crushes at the time. One of which was Kirsten Dunst because of her role in Spider-Man. Then I saw the Bring It On movies. I was like, okay, I really like her. She's really pretty. But then, like, my first real big Hollywood crush was Hayden Panettiere, and she was in the third Bring It On movie. But that's, I don't know if I think I saw the I don't think I saw the third Bring It On movie until way later. But yeah, Hayden Panettiere, if you don't, for those of you old enough to remember, the cheerleader from Heroes. She was probably my biggest, earliest Hollywood crush. Because she is the same age as me. Or within a year of each other. But little do people remember, one of her earliest roles was she was the coach's daughter in Remember the Titans. And I remember seeing Remember the Titans when I was a kid, and I was like, oh, who's the cute girl who's this cute little girl that they cast? And I was a young kid, and I was like, oh, first time I started noticing girls, and I was just like, oh, cute, cute girls. And then later in life found out it's like, oh, she is the same age as me, so I don't feel weird about this at all. Kika, hi, hello, how are you tonight? I hope you had a good day. I did have a good day. Not a super eventful day, but a day. We were just talking about some movies. I went to go see that movie Civil War tonight. Bit of a nothing burger, but of a movie. But it had its moments. The cinematography was surprisingly good, but overall, I would almost give it a pass. If you're not like a real big movie person, like not a big theater person, I might give it a pass and wait till it came on streaming. Kind of one of those movies. Like, maybe worth watching if that's kind of your thing. Like, but overall, not great. I was just kind of looking for a good movie to go see tonight, and that just happened to fit the time frame that I had available. So, but sorry, shaking this up, it tends to settle a little bit. I do white for my toes. I always do white. This isn't the best stuff, but it was cheap. If it's just for my toes, I don't really mind it. But anyway, yeah, there are a couple movies out this weekend specifically that I want to go see. This past weekend, The Fall Guy just came out, and it's got Oh my gosh, I always forget her name. Uh, the the girl that everybody fell in love the woman that everybody fell in love with from Edge of Tomorrow. Um, oh my gosh, she's such a popular actress. Anyway, can't think of her name, but it's also got Ryan Gosling in it, and everybody loves Ryan Gosling because, well, it's Ryan Gosling. Uh, Sorry, I'm like focusing really hard not to screw this up, and I screwed it up. Okay, that's cool. Well, he's just another coat. Okay. Anyway, uh, I should have saw Boy Kills World. I actually want to go see that one. That actually looks fun. I heard the reviews are not great, but they said like it's just over the top action and just nonstop over the top action. And I'm like, you know what? Every once in a while, I'm in the mood for that, and that sounds awesome. um, Also, was it Bill Skarsgård? I think. Yeah, it's Bill Skarsgård. I swear, like when I first saw him in some TV show, oh, I will never. It's gonna drive me nuts. And it was an old Netflix show. It was the first time I ever saw him. Um, he was like a vampire character, and he was like starring alongside Famke Jensen. Um, God, I can't remember the name of this show, but it was one of those old school Netflix originals. Anyway, that was the first thing I ever saw him in. I was like, okay, he seems like at least a decent actor, but I didn't care for him at the time. The more I see him and stuff, the more I'm like, okay, he's a really good actor, and he doesn't get to shine nearly enough. Especially because he did Pennywise from It, and then he goes on to play this like epic, like badass action character. I was like, that looks like a lot of fun, and it like I saw the trailer and like that looks really cool. But it only had one showtime today. I was like, oh man, this one's getting pushed out of theaters real fast. He is me, I am him. Heather Locklear? No, it wasn't Heather Locklear, the one I was talking about. Oh man, it's gonna drive me nuts. Um, Man, what is her name? Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt. That's it. Uh, Bill is gonna play the Crow. Yes, he is. I've seen the trailer. I know some people have been saying like this seems like an unnecessary remake. I just look at it and think it looks awesome. It looks good, and I have faith in him as an actor. Uh, that you know, even if it's not the greatest remake, he'll at least be an entertaining person to watch because I just have faith in his acting ability. Like he'll do the best with what he has, and his best can be all right. So yes, Bill playing the Crow, yeah, that's I am excited. I am actually more excited for that than I originally thought I was gonna be, because like I don't get me wrong, I like the original. I never read the. It was based on a comic, right? I never read the comics, um, but I did watch the movie, the original movie, and I was like, oh, okay. I like this. This is fun enough. It's just moody enough uh, for me at the time as I was younger. But yeah, I'm ready for a remake, and I'm ready for Bill Skarsgård to hop in as the lead role. Are you kidding? Ooh. I mean, it's gonna be such a serious movie. Because I mean, it's The Crow. Of course it is. That's what I'm saying, right? Thank you. See, look, Sausage Mahoney. We're on the same page. We get each other. Let's get. Sorry, just taking care of some things. Okay, there we go. Oh, I am honestly I am very I'm very annoyed by the fact that I do not have internet right now, and that I am having to use my own cellular data uh, to stream tonight, which is why it's going to be a bit of a shorter one, because I'm trying not to use up all of my data live streaming. But yeah, my internet, whatever's going on in my apartment, is apparently so bad that the apartment complex itself got involved as opposed to the ISP, and reached out to us all today in an email saying, it's like, hey, we know the internet in your apartment is down. It's in your entire building. Your entire building's internet is down. We're waiting on we are awaiting parts, new parts to replace and fix, hopefully tomorrow, by end of day. I was like, really? You gonna? This is what happens. This is what you get when your internet is well. I mean, I'm lucky I don't pay extra for internet. It's all supposed to be covered by the apartment complex, but it's like part of my rent, and it's just like, well, I don't really have a hand in calling, to get it repaired quick, fast, in a hurry. It's all done through the apartment complex for, larger emergency situations, I guess, like this is, for whatever's going on. Bro is jacked, but not as jacked as you. Yo, I appreciate that. But have you seen him lately? Are you kidding? He is super jacked. Alien Ant, welcome in. Hi, how are you? How is everything? Excuse me. How is everything? It's actually pretty good. We were just talking about some movies. Talking about I want to go see Civil War. We're kind of going over that. I just keep referring to it as kind of like a nothing burger of a movie. It really didn't do much with the material that it had. It just had some really cool cinematography, and that was about it. But we were also talking about some like some other movies that I want to see that are both out in theaters and ones that are coming up. Both starring Bill Skarsgård. One of them, Boy Kills World, which looks really fun. I've heard it's just a kind of boilerplate action, but every once in a while you kind of get in the mood for something, and I've been kind of in a mood for that lately. Though I did see Monkey Man, and Monkey Man was some intense action. That was a good movie. If you want some brutal action, Monkey Man is a good one. Some good, like, just visceral, like, hand-to-hand combat. It's intense. There we go. The plot is, well, it's an action movie, so the plot's kind of, you're not there for the plot, we'll say that much. But the rest of it is so well done that you kind of just don't really care as much. But yeah, so also, with we were talking about Bill Skarsgård, he's going to play the Crow. Ooh, excited for that one. I haven't been keeping up with movies a lot lately. I used to go all the time. Like, I'd go at least once a week, if not twice a week, for a while. But I've kind of, I've just cooled off lately. In the last probably 3-4 months. I've been, well, probably more than that. Ever since I started doing my my daily live streams, it's kind of taken away a lot of my free time. But free time that I'd rather spend with you all, because as much as nice as it is to go to a movie, and as relaxing as that can be and fun as that can be, because I do love the cinema. I do love the theater in general. It's it's kind of a lone activity for me. I don't ever go with other people, or at least not usually. But sitting here on live stream with you all, it's, I get to interact with the community. It's nice. I've never seen any of those. I don't keep up with movies either at all. That's okay. I'm just a bit of a nerd, and I really like fantasy, sci-fi stuff. Yeah, fantasy and sci-fi are my jam. superheroes especially. Uh, I do like a lot of it. Like, obviously I play video games, which is my usual stream. Of course, not tonight because the internet's down and my computer and all my other proper setup is not well. I'm not gonna say useless at the moment, but not not properly equipped to not have internet. We'll say that much. Uh, but yeah, so hopefully I'll be back to gaming tomorrow. Hopefully. But in the meantime, got I've got my workouts to do, and I do have to go back to work tomorrow. Yeah, I had my day off today, and it was nice, but I got to go back to work tomorrow, unfortunately. All right. Can we get a second layer on here without messing it up? I think that's a hearty no. Okay. I think I just made a mess. Okay, well, is what it is. That doesn't look like it. Almost doesn't look like it needs a second layer. I am redoing my toenails. Every once in a while, I redo them because they kind of need it. All right. Well, I just did find your channel through shorts and just subbed. Oh, I have a quick question. Are you male or female? I am, yes. I am trans male to female. Trans femme, however you want to refer to it as. But yes, thank you so much for thank you, big heart out. Thank you so much for subscribing. I really appreciate it. Every little bit counts. Every subscribe counts. Every little bit of interaction. It's amazing. Also, don't like the fact that as soon as I talk to everyone, stop typing. Oh, the anxiety. No, I think you might be the only one left. I mean, okay. So when I do these little like mobile live streams here, on the very rare occasion that I do them, because I'm usually at my computer, it seems to market out to a different audience, and so my current watchers, it goes wildly up and down, and so right now it looks like only 2 people are in the room. So looks like somebody just hopped in. So yeah, it goes up and down pretty wild. It's not you. It's not you. It's me. I'm the one. It's like I'm the one. I'm the one talking. So if anybody got scared off, trust me, it's probably because of me. And me talking deeply about nerdy stuff like a bunch of movies that haven't even come out yet. That a lot of people just want to see me if I'm going to sit here and talk about redoing my toes, then everybody wants to just see the toes and they want the free content, and they don't get that free content. Not on this page, at least. This is the family-friendly channel, darn it. Yeah, besides that, I do also work in retail. We're gonna sidestep the conversation here. We're gonna go out of sidestep out of media, and yeah, just go on some things that I've been thinking about lately. I have some old videos here on my YouTube channel that they were from, I call it the before times. So before I started my transition. But it wasn't like a visual of me. I did a few. I can't even call them animations because it was like just a handful of still images that looked like handful of still drawings that looked like a 5-year-old drew them. Yes, I drew them as an adult. They are terrible, but I have zero artistic talent when it comes to actually drawing, whether that be pen and paper, like a hard medium, or like I hate to say it like a soft medium, but like a digital medium. Let's say that. Regardless, I have no real artistic talent there. but I made these like really goofy little drawings, and it was just kind of me talking about my time in retail, and that was years ago. It was probably about 3, 4 years ago that I made those, and it took a while, but it took a couple years. But they finally, some people started seeing them, and someone eventually made a comment and say, "Hey, you should make more of these." Well, now I'm back in retail, um, and I have been for the past year. And just recently, I've been considering, it's like maybe I make another one because I kind of got hit with some inspiration lately. Uh, and when I say I was talking about my time in retail, it wasn't just telling little stories of retail. It was me, more or less, me just kind of complaining about some things that I see as an employee, some issues I see with customers time to time, which apparently some people find as either entertaining, or I don't know if entertaining is the right word, or just other retail employees that see those and think, I can relate to this. And it just feels good to have someone to relate to, which I can totally understand. Because like, and I would imagine service industry workers as well have similar stories, similar but like adjacent stories. It's what some things that I've had conversations with people in life. It's like in America, it's like everyone should have a small window of time where they have to either work in retail or the service industry, and so they have to learn what it's like to handle customers from that perspective, and have to hold your tongue when you know customers do their thing and customers have attitudes. So it's like you learn a little bit of empathy, you know. And I think if that were to ever happen, not that it ever will, uh, over time you would learn, like, the amount of empathy would kind of just be like a generational like passing on of like a certain amount of empathy, which would be nice. So it's like maybe retail employees would get a little bit more respect that they so very much deserve. So I don't like the thing. I can't say anything. I like to doodle, but I can't draw at all. Oh, Kika. Oh, you haven't seen my little doodles. They're terrible. It looks like not even a 5-year-old. Oh boy. So, well, I don't know any. I don't know how people work in retail. I've worked fast food before, and people are terrible. Yep, service industry. Yep, it's either service industry or retail. It's one or the other, and they're similar. The experiences can be there's a lot of crossover there in how it's amazing how some people can just be so careless and treat service industry workers and retail workers like they're just below human. It's terrible. Um, Now I work at a college cafeteria doing dishes, so I don't deal with many people. I had a very brief stint where there was a job that part of it was I washed dishes, and not all of it. So some of it was forward face, like customer facing. But during the parts that I had to wash dishes, it was like a certain level of just bliss that I didn't have to deal with people for a certain amount of time, and it was wonderful. But no, I've been doing this for years now, and it's very, uh, yeah, it's very customer focused, very customer oriented, and very, like hands-on experience. So I very much have to, uh, be dealing with the customers in a very, exclusive experience for a good amount of time to help them. It's not like I can just like it's not like working at Target where you can just like stock shelves or whatever, and then someone asks you where's this, and you just point them in the direction and they leave you alone. It's not like that. No, I actually have to be there with them for like their entire experience. Uh, but yeah, it's a I don't know how much these people think I get paid at this store, but it's not good. It's not a lot, that's for sure. Uh, when you solidly slide in well under the poverty line, it makes for a tough living, especially when you're expected to be an experienced professional in your field that people come to for advice. Yeah, and they pay you well below the poverty line. It's not good. uh, if only we can switch places with the Karens. Oh, if I had just a minute to switch, and just like they weren't allowed to, be their Karen self, and it's like, would I be mean to them? I probably wouldn't, to be honest. But like, just let them know that's like, you know, like if you could pass on just have like the feeling of how, like, if they could even slightly understand how negatively they can impact a person and their life and just their mentality, it's like maybe they wouldn't do it, maybe they wouldn't be so bad. But I get them on a regular basis. I get those Karens that come in pretty frequently, and it's terrible. Like, I don't understand where some of these people like get this sense of self entitlement, and it's not just like younger people; it's older people. It's terrible. Um, it's like a lot of people talk about, like you hear in news media and all that. It's like, oh, these younger kids with all this, sense of entitlement. Well, they get it from their parents. They had to learn it somewhere. They a lot of like I see a lot of these adults that come in here because it's I work in professional adult menswear, and I see where it comes from. It absolutely comes from the parents. Excuse me. Uh, I would 100% be behind mandatory customer service. Yo, I like just a small stint, like 6 months to a year, maybe, of someone's life, maybe. Uh, just knowing what it's like to be in that position, and like so many people don't know the struggle of like not it's not even just that, it's like they don't understand the struggle of I can't talk back to you because if I do, like, I can't tell you what I really think because if I do, I'm at risk of losing my job. And if I lose my job, well, they haven't been paying me well enough uh, to have, to accumulate a savings. So if I lose this job, I immediately go destitute. It's not like there's a window of time and there's like a savings account you can rely on for a little bit unless you live the most frugal life imaginable and have no housing expenses, which, if you don't have housing expensive and have, a comfortable living, good for you. I don't know how you did it, but good for you. I mean, like, it could be like young people living with their parents, rent free or whatever, sure. um, but no, for us other adults that I don't really have any fallback, at least anywhere near where I'm at. I have no, like, if I can't pay rent, I can't pay rent, and I don't get to live here. That's just that's that's it. Um, and the store, a lot of retail jobs, they don't, like, they barely pay you enough for like basic necessities, like basic living expenses. I know, like, I'm not gonna say it looks like I have the most comfortable space. I have this one room that I'm in, this loft. I had to build myself. I could not buy a loft bed. So my dad and I figured out a plan. We wrote our own, blueprint for it, made it all ourselves, and it's a modular system, so the whole thing collapses. This chair I've had for when I was in the military, when I actually had a little bit of money because I didn't have housing expenses. So I've had this chair for about 16 years. Um, but but yeah, it's just really tough. It's tough if you go, like straight into retail and you don't have the opportunity to really build up that savings. Um, and then, of course, a lot of retail jobs can be physically and mentally exhausting. So it's hard to really get yourself motivated to even, like do the work that's required to find better positions. And so a lot of people just kind of get stuck in that rut of, they're just stuck in that job. Um, so I don't know. I mean, I've been on the hunt lately. A friend lent me the book that like every job hunter knows in like modern society is. Yeah, is a few years older, but yeah, the What Color Is Your Parachute? Yeah, every job hunter knows this one. And so yeah, big biceps. Thank you. I work hard. I work hard to have the big biceps. It's been a long journey and a lot of tough workouts, a lot of long nights, um, and a lot of protein. But thank you for noticing. But why not get out of retail? I'm working on it. Yeah, I am. Yeah, like I said, I am actively working on my skill set, and it can be very hard for a lot of people to get out of retail, because they end up, it's, I hate to use this phrase, it's the whole trading dollars for hours thing. It's like you get paid so little that you try to get extra hours at work. The extra hours at work means you have less energy and time, uh, to do any other kind of job hunting. So it makes it even harder. Uh, but if you decide you want to spend more time on that, then less hours at work, and then you can't afford to do any, like, you can't afford to even take the time to look. Throw that book away. Why is it like? Have you gone through it? I've gone through a few other things, and I'm looking, just doing some other skills assessment stuff to kind of, you know, get myself out there and read Nickel and Dimed. What is Nickel and Dimed? I'll have to look that one up. But in the meantime, yeah, anything is better than nothing, and that book is, I mean, it's at least helping me evaluate some of my own skill sets outside of retail, so I can more easily market myself when actually going for interviews and things. Um, Sucks I'm being paid 13 an hour, paying $1,000 a month to live with my parents who aren't supportive of my identity and constantly put me down. Oh, alien, Aunt, I am so sorry. That is, you are stuck with your parents who don't support you, and you're paying them $1,000 a month on only $13 an hour. Oh my gosh! See, and I bet it's like, are you working full time? Like, you're probably working full time, if I had to guess, um, which makes it even harder, because then you're just like, you want to spend all this time. It's like you want to spend other time either one, getting out of the house to go do other things and build a life, or two, you want to try to actually, like, get your own, like, build up a set of skills that are marketable to other things, but you just don't have the time or energy outside of working absurd amounts of hours in a retail store that barely pays you enough to live. I get it. I get it. There's a reason I have one bedroom here, and that's all I do, is just, like, it's all I have for my own personal space is just a single bedroom. It's tough, and I get that, and I'm so sorry to hear that. I really hope for your sake that it gets better for you, and that your parents come around, um, and I hope you find something, either that, or if you're going to stick with that job, I hope you get a promotion real soon. I'm working at a college and it's summer, so yeah. Uh, Thankfully, when I'm working, almost everyone that knows is supportive and caring. Hey, if you're working at a college, I will say, like, I did work at a university for a couple of years at the start of my transition, and if you're going to transition, if you're going to be in a career field, or like, how do I say this? If you're going to be in an environment that is going to be supportive, it's going to be at a university or a college of some kind. There's no other place that I can truly think of off the top of my head, that you are going to find as much of a supportive community to help you, especially early on in your transition until you get truly comfortable. Um, Nothing's going to be quite as good as working around a university, because you're going to find, generally universities, for the most part, are going to be more progressive mindset, more liberal mindset. So way more supportive of those kind of, like what people associate as like LGBT, identities as like, more progressive, or, they kind of associate that together, even though it's not entirely. But yeah, universities just in general, you're gonna find a lot more open-minded people. I've come to notice, whether or not they are, one political leaning or another, which I did run into a few of those. Some people who were not 100%, on board with it when I worked at the university, but the catch is that they were open-minded enough to at least have a good conversation about it. Like an actual healthy conversation, and not something that just devolved into, insults and, picking at people's identities and belief systems and all that. So that's one of the best parts about working at a university or a college, that you can actually you can actually have intelligent conversations with people of various backgrounds and various beliefs. So that's nice. All right, do I have... I'm gonna see if I can put my finishing layer on here. Might not just yet. Give it another couple of minutes here. Start your own business. Be the master, not the slave. It's easier said than done, but not undoable. Not an insurmountable goal. For me, I've tried doing that on the side. I've got some other things that I've done, some other fields that I'm trying to get into. I'm not necessarily founding a business, but sort of using myself as a brand. But YouTube is part of that, and growing a small community is part of that. I'm not necessarily someone who wants to like create and sell a product or anything like that. And please do not say drop shipping. That what an oversaturated field that has become way less beneficial than it used to be. We'll say that much. I've been at my current job for almost 8 years, but before that I was almost exclusively working retail. I'm not sure there's any amount of money that could make me go back voluntarily. Yeah, it was very hard for me to come back to retail after working at the university. It was such a nice job. Unfortunately, it was only temporary. I say it was only temporary, but it was a temp job that lasted 2 full years. And I felt very, very spoiled by that job. It was very, very nice, and they treated us very well. The pay wasn't like fantastic, but it was better than retail. And the creature comforts in general, just the environment and everything was so much better. I have tried to go to the university a couple times for other positions. I just kind of got beat out for the positions, which understandable. There were some very qualified candidates, I found out. But yeah, universities, in my brief experience working with the university, it's been very nice, and I wouldn't mind working with a university again in some shape or form. Yeah, I've also considered maybe working, if I can find some way to do contract work with the military, through an outside agency. That might not be a bad idea either. But because that can be a very lucrative opportunity. But I, at this point, I'm not going back in the military for a number of reasons. I did try to reenlist a long time ago. Tried to go into the Air Force Special Forces, and I passed spent a year and a half doing all the paperwork, doing all the tests, all the physical tests and everything that they required of me, and passed every test they could throw at me. And they say you have a clean they looked at my military history and they say you have a clean record. Everything looks great on paper. Physically, like you're in killer shape because it was the best shape. I had gotten in the best shape of my life at the time. Yes, even better than where I am at now. But I got to my physical because they always do like a full body physical to make sure that you're make sure you're good to go. And they tested my eyesight, and I thought this is going to be a cakewalk. It was the last thing to do for the day, and it's like this will be a cakewalk. I've got 20/20 vision. I've had laser eye surgery. This will be easy. And then they tested my color vision, and that was the day that I found out that I am red-green color vision deficient. I never knew until that day. And it immediately disqualified me for every single job that I wanted. I was, let's say I was distraught, to say the least. I had my heart set on it for several years, and gone through, years of like a couple years worth of training to get in just amazing killer shape, and just doing all this paperwork and getting myself prepared to be back in the military again. And then in a moment's notice, it all fell through. And I fought it for months, trying to get waivers, see if there's anything I could do to get around it, because I really wanted this position. And they just said, kept coming back the same thing. Said, sorry, you're like, you have to pass this, and you don't meet the minimum requirements. There was like a certain passing line, and I was just barely below the passing line, because even the doctor that was testing me says, like, yeah, I can't help but have a little bit of sympathy for you because you're so close. But I can't, in good conscience put you through this, and legally I can't do it because you technically failed. So it's like I can't do it. I'm like, well, shoot. On the plus side, I left the office and immediately went and turned in my application to go back to the university to finish up my bachelor's degree. So at the very least, now I have my bachelor's degree, which is nice. Did it do much for me? Not exactly. I realized far too late into the degree program that I didn't quite actually like the way the industry worked that I was getting my degree in, which happened to be, ironically, journalism. So I do have a degree in communications with a focus in journalism, broadcast journalism specifically. But by the time I got to the end of that degree, I realized, like, maybe this industry isn't quite right for me. So I opted not to. I opted not to go into that industry. But yeah, it's a process. Life is a process. We'll get there. We'll find something. Everybody will find something. I'm sure we all will. It sucks that something is completely out of your control, like color blindness can ruin your dream job. And I think that's exactly why I was so upset about it, because I don't get upset very easily. It takes a lot to get under my skin. Like, you could try your best and you can probably just never make me mad. But that was one of those things in life where I think I was legitimately upset, in a way that I was not used to feeling. And it really hurt because it was something that, I'd worked so hard for. And it's not that I had worked hard and failed. It's because if that had happened, if I truly had worked really, really hard for it and I still just came up short, that would have been okay. Because I would at least have known that it was something in my control, that, I tried and I didn't quite get there, but at least I was able to, say that I put my all of my effort into it. But because it was something that I had zero control over, it just, no matter how much effort I put into it, it was always going to be the same answer. And it hurt. It hurt a lot. Um, but I mean, that was, gosh, not to date myself, but that was 8 years ago. Um, what's that? No, 9 years ago at this point. That would have been 2015. Yeah. I was in my mid 20s. Oof. The later half of my mid 20s. Yikes. Can't believe that was 9 years ago. Oh, that hurts. But yeah, I've built a life beside that, and I wouldn't be the person that I am now. Probably wouldn't be the woman that I am now. If that were the case. Who knows? Who knows where I would have been? Because that would have been a 6-year commitment. Had I actually been able to enlist, it would have been that would have been a 6-year contract commitment. So, and yeah. Anyway, that was a bit of a long story there, but yeah, a little bit of my history as well. Like I said, I was in the military. I was in the Marine Corps for 4 years, right out of high school. Got out for a number of years, tried to re-enlist again, tried to go to the Air Force for Special Forces, and just didn't work out. And then got my degree afterwards, and yeah, worked a number of different jobs ever since, and it's been a wild ride. We'll say that much. Anyway, yeah, we've been going for an hour. Again, I am using my data, unfortunately. It is getting late. I am going to actually end it here. If anyone's out there watching that hasn't done so already, make sure you hit subscribe down below. It'll let you know every time I go live, which has been every day for 114 days now, despite the fact that my internet keeps going out. I usually play some games. We've been hooked on Persona 3 for a long time now. I think we're getting close to the end. So come check me out. Hopefully, come check me out on a night where I'm actually gaming, which will hopefully be tomorrow night, as long as the internet gets fixed. But also maybe check out some of my older videos, especially if you're interested, my transgender experience videos. They're a little bit older at this point, but all the information is very much still relevant. So definitely go check those out. Also, and I hate to do this, I hate to be a shill for my own stuff, but I am getting ready to move here in about a month, and I have recently been slapped with a few, very expensive fees that I was not expecting as part of the moving process. And I do have a link down there if you feel so inclined. Do not feel any pressure to do so, but there is a link down there if you were, for any of you feeling extra generous tonight and want to leave a little bit of donation. Every dollar counts, especially in this economy. But that's also there. And finally, if you have not done so, check the other link in the description below. It'll take you to all of my other social channels that include Instagram and Twitter, where I'm the most active, so definitely come check me out over there. And on that note, y'all have a wonderful night, have a wonderful week, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye!